Our new song is available for pre-order at getcominghome.com. Check it out. Download iTunes to pre-order and support our work. From the New York Times, Alex Jones's InfoWars will be auctioned off to pay Sandy Hook families. It's interesting because there's different families in different suits. One group out of Texas wanted to keep garnishing the revenue of InfoWars so they'd make money. And the Connecticut family said, nope, sell it all off, shut it down. And now they're actually fighting amongst each other, I guess, according to the New York Times, as to how they're going to divvy up the money. But the reports are, come November, InfoWars is done. Mid-November auction. The crazy thing about this is I can't imagine that someone's going to want to buy out InfoWars products to help him.
You should buy it.
Why?
To own all the IP and give it back to him?
And then they'll seize it again because he owes $1 billion. You can't buy it for him. Any money you give to him will go to pay off the settlement.
Could you buy it and make him an employee with that?
Then you'll get sued.
What about buying it and giving it to a trust that you set up and just
No, the scenario that I imagine happening, of which I imagine it's going to be some 20-year-old kid with an LLC and no net worth, will start a company and then he'll film Alex Jones on his phone.
That's what's going to happen after the sale is Alex will just keep going. And all Rob Do and everybody involved with the company, they'll just keep going and keep making stuff.
I've heard part of it is that they're trying to go after his personal social media handle account too. Is that true?
You can't. Absolutely. New York Times said that they're trying to auction off his social media accounts. You can't do that. He doesn't own those accounts. It says right here, look at this. The auction set for mid-November includes the website and the social media accounts. They can't do it. You will never take Alex Jones' X account away from him because it's owned by Elon Musk.
Well, and if there's like an InfoWars one, I could understand how that's business affiliated. But if he created one for himself a long time ago, like how can you suddenly say this is business property, so therefore we must sell it? Not even the
InfoWars account. They all belong to Elon, and Elon determines who's allowed to use it. And if they say nope, we want to grant access to someone else, Elon just says no. It's my account. I'm letting Alex use it. That's how it works. So there's nothing they can do. His show will always be on X. That platform is not something that can never be taken away from him. And he gets hundreds of thousands of hits on his streams, broadcasts, and spaces.
Has Elon commented on it? I've only seen like a parody account response.
I haven't seen anything, but it's pretty wild that they're trying to end InfoWars, which they can't.
Yeah.
They can't take the account. I mean, it'll be interesting because they could take the trademark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then whoever buys it can sue Alex Jones for using InfoWars.
And they can delete all the content. Whoever
Not
buys
from X.
Not from X, no. They can delete it all from the InfoWars servers. But are they just backing it up elsewhere now, or is that illegal?
That's only if they bought the servers.
No, I mean,
they can file a copyright claim against him if he uses the InfoWars trademark on anything.
Yes. So basically, they're trying to prevent any past InfoWars IP from being seen publicly again.
I feel like that is the goal, right? Like it's to delete InfoWars from the internet if possible. Not that it necessarily will be. And again, part of that is because a lot of it relies on Alex Jones himself. I mean, it's not just him. Like we have had other InfoWars contributors on the show. There are a lot of like talented Owen Schroyer,
Chase Geiser.
Yeah, Harrison. Like there's tons of them.
It's pretty crazy. They're destroying a company and all of the associated jobs and all of the contract work that goes along with it.
I know, like
because of what one person did.
Some people did damage to these families, and now they're going to do damage to all these other families in response. It's like, geez, dude, that's
there's a janitor right now.
Or do you just want this resolved?
There's a janitor right now going, why am I getting fired? It's like, well, because Alex Jones said things that this family found damaging, and they sued him, and now because Alex Jones is paying personally and business-wise, you don't get to have a job anymore. Mm-hmm. That's kind of crazy to me. Like the company is bigger than Alex Jones. There's other people who speak there. The idea that they're going to destroy, I don't know, that just seems nuts to me.
An eye for an eye makes the world blind.
It's not an eye for an eye.
That's the philosophy.
But
someone harms you and you harm them back. That's not justice, man.
This is not an eye for an eye. Alex Jones, I could argue if they said we're going after Alex personally, but to take Owen Schroyer's job? Why? What did he say about them? Mm-hmm. Was he named in these suits? I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't think he was. So going after the company itself to end the jobs of, like I mentioned, some of these people who work there, just security guards or janitors. Why are they going to lose their jobs over this? If you got a problem with something Alex Jones said, the liability should be on Alex Jones. But I get it, I guess. There's got to be, I mean, this is what bankruptcy protection was supposed to be for, but they denied it. So now everyone, even you're a contractor who doesn't work for InfoWars, but you've got a monthly contract to like check the lights and make sure the electricity is working. And now you're going to your wife and being like, we're not going to be able to make the bills this month. I got to find some new clients.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
But
Is this what happened to Gawker? Like similar when Peter Thiel sued them? Like, did they have to shut
Hulk
down the
Hogan?
state?
They never shut down.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, actually, I think they got sold. And then they were, Gawker.
They weren't auctioned off. Okay.
I can't remember exactly how it went down. They lost all their money and then they ended up selling to pay for over that.
Gotcha.
But the Gawker media brands, I believe, still exist to this day.
Oh, wow.
And that's the thing. It's bankruptcy protection is like, okay, you've been sued. You're liable for these damages. The company needs to keep running. People need to keep their jobs. So there's going to be some kind of like restructuring or payment plan. Yeah. Instead, they were like, nah, just burn it all down.
Mm-hmm. And again, I think this has to do, like, when we talk about the people who will lose, like, not even just the host, but like, you're totally right. The janitors, a security guard, like whoever works there, and that is just their job. They'll pay the price for this. But I think there are factions of both, the government and sort of the people who are against Jones who said, well, you deserve this too, because you shouldn't work for someone like that. He is so bad that anyone affiliated with him deserves to suffer. And that's the level of to me, that rises to political persecution that is unwarranted. I mean, there are people who will pay the consequences for something that they did not have anything to do with other than they eventually worked for the same company.
Dude, reparations is not that you go burn the arson's house down. He pays retribution for burning the house down. He might serve prison time. He serves his sentence. You don't go and destroy his property, or I mean, maybe there's arguments that you seize the property. I guess maybe, but it's not like they're gonna.
It does seem strange too that there was so much money, and it was like, okay, well then, if you want that much money, then you should probably keep the business open so it can generate revenue to pay that off. And they said they obviously had something else in mind. They were like, no, destroy company, sell. Even to me, it seems like they're obviously never going to get, the amount that the court ordered him to pay.
It sounds personal that they want to harm him. And that's really not the purpose of the settlement, is to harm the guy. It's for him to repair what he's done. And I don't know if you. But
maybe for them, it's like you also have to be destroyed. That's the only way we'll feel better about this.
That's just not the way the legal system works in the United States.
I don't think it should be how it works, but I can't say that is not how people feel about it.
And I think it shows the ruthlessness of the left too, and I think it really speaks to the stakes of this election. If we do not win this election in November, if Donald Trump is not reelected and returns to the White House, I think there is a very real chance that conservatives in this country become second-class citizens. They have shown. Right. Continue to be. Because they have shown just a complete lack of restraint when it comes to weaponizing every single lever of government against us. Like, they are completely okay with subjugating us. And honestly, conservatives are not okay with doing it back. And I'm the type to say, I know Michelle Obama, she said, when they go low, we go high. When they go low, we go lower. That's my position these days, because we have seen that the left knows that we will not fight back against them on their own terms, on their own turf. And because of that is why they do things like this. That is why they, criminalize, free speech. It's why they kick people off of X and all of these things are attempted to in a previous time. It's why they attack people's livelihoods for simply vocalizing viewpoints that they disagree with, because they know that we won't fight back with the same zeal and passion that they do. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I personally am not of that mindset. I mean, maybe there is a place for going lower than the enemy. I mean, in war, you have to. If you're literally at war, if they're using dirty, evil, destructive tactics, you have to become more evil, dirty, and destructive to survive. But in civil reality, you're supposed to overcome.
But is it civil anymore, do you think?
If we say no, it will become war. And so I want it to be civil, so I say it is civil. And I treat it like it's civil. But and hopefully the next generation will see the error of the ways and maintain civility. That's my hope.
I think it's really hard because I get what you're saying, and I do think that there is a level of there needs to be a little more fire and creativity in how the conservative aspects of the country respond to the attacks. Yeah. On the other hand, I fear a race to the bottom, and I think ultimately we want a unified country that is strong. And so to me, that it's hard because you need this cultural shift. You need people who don't, who would say, I'll never vote Republican. And, they are the people who leave the Thanksgiving table. They don't want to talk to them, to come to a realization that the weaponization of the legal system against one bent of ideology, meaning more conservative, is wrong. And it ultimately backfires on them as well. It's not good for our country as a strong nation, and we want to live in a strong nation. But yeah, I definitely, but I see what you mean. Like we can't just go on where it's like there are all these huge efforts to stop any kind of, conservative movements, whether it's Trump or whether it's, school choice initiatives or, anything. And in response, there's no sort of offenses coming from.
Yeah, you can sort of, if someone's trying to undermine you, you can go around it rather than go under them. So there are ways to alter the system by behaving in a way unforeseen that kind of bypasses their attempt to play dirty, where it's like they're undermining something that they thought was there, but by the time they dig under the walls, you've settled in a different location, and they come up and they're like, where's the guy we're trying to harm? It's a way of focusing energy that might be more valuable and might end up bringing more community to a healthier place.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, because I think, like, to your point, for them to actually, I think, come to the realization that they don't want it to get that bad, first, I think it unfortunately has to get that bad, right? It has to blow up in their face. It has to be like, okay, we don't want to be treated the way that we've treated them. And so that's like, I think that we have to get to that point before we can get to the point. And the reality that I think we all want to live in is, to your point, where we can be united. But I think that there is too many people on their side right now, unfortunately, who don't want unity. I think to the poll that Tim cited earlier about how 28% of the country believe that, or 28% of Democrats believe that Trump should be dead, is emblematic of that.
The country would be better off.
Yeah, better off if you.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I haven't seen the poll. Was it like 1,000 people? Was it 100,000 people? Did
let me pull this up.
Sometimes
this is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big percent, but sometimes it's a small segment of people, and they might be very twisted people that they polled. So you never, and
RMG research.
Sometimes it comes out on a day of the week when people are just feeling hot because.
And I've heard pollsters refute this, saying, "Well, like, oh no, it's actually
1,000 registered voters,
1,000 people."
I mean, I think one of the challenges is the fact that this is a conversation people are having at all, right? Like, there was a time in America where, we would get these polls that said they would rather their kids marry someone of a different political party than of a different religion, right? There were things outside of politics that gave us identity and purpose and values that kind of helped weave American culture, as broad as it is, together. And now I think you see, number one, people are not as religious, and they are not really participating in other social groups. People don't go to bowling leagues or book clubs. There's like volunteerism is down. But on top of that, people look at their political identity as the be all and end all of anything. And it's a litmus test for how you view your neighbors, right? Like, if your neighbor is Republican and you're progressive, then they want to harm you. They are a threat, even though that's not true, right? You just agree on things differently. And ultimately, at one point, political parties had the goal of being like, here is our common values as Americans. How do we achieve them? We offer different solutions, but that's not modern American politics. That's not the way the party systems work. And so there is this battling cultures where one is saying, well, we want this thing, and the other one is saying, we actually don't want you to be here at all. Yeah. And it's very difficult to work through, because if they just don't want you here, but you're still making space for them, then they're going to eventually push you off the cliff.
Yeah.
Sort of like the pressure of the system is building, maybe because of the printing of money, and people feel like, yo, my kimchi's $8 now, or my head of lettuce is $2.99 when it used to be $1.25. My carrots are $4 instead of $1.80. And so the pressure is building, therefore things are moving faster within the system, and the thoughts are moving quicker. So if some people have little disagreements, they move very quickly.
Do you think it's economic pressure, or do you think it's the 24-hour news cycle?
I'm wondering, that's what I was wondering. Is it a combination of the economics speeding people's thoughts up and making them like very, very, very. And then the news comes in and just little, like if you're driving really fast on the road and you turn the wheel a little, the car goes crazy to the left because you're going so fast. If you're going slow, you barely move and you have time to readjust. So the media comes in, certain media organizations will come in and just tweak people's thoughts. But because everyone's pressurized from the economic burden, which I do think is a big part of it, is the economic problem right now, their thoughts go crazy sideways.
Well,
thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe and we'll see you all there.